Dang.
Welcome to the future. What is up, Internet? I'm Sam McAlpin. I'm here with Austin Higdon, my good friend.
What's up?
We're going to be awkward for a few minutes, and then we're going to talk about some really cool stuff. Austin, what'd you get up to today, man? Tell me about your day.
Man, I've been in Gunnersville this morning. Some of the men from our church had a Bible study this morning. It's called Bullets and Bibles. Go down and there's a guy in our church. His name is Wesley Benefield. He owns Shooter's Paradise, and it's just a big gun range. It's a super, super nice place.
Very cool.
Super cool. I've never been down there till today, and yeah, I've been down there shooting guns, talking about Jesus.
Okay. So to that's actually the slogan for I'm starting a political run in the next 2 years because I speak well and I dress better than everybody. So we're gonna really put it on them. But the slogan is God and guns.
I mean, if we're just going off that, I'd vote.
Yeah, all right, that's one vote down. Why do you think that's such a big deal around here? Why do you think God and guns is such a big, huge thing in the Bible Belt?
Well, you said it right there. In my opinion, like starting off, hey, this is the Bible Belt. This is the most preached area in the world. So, it's just kind of always been one of those things like, faith and family and guns. This is the South, I love guns. I love shooting guns. I love buying and selling guns. I love trading guns. I do. It fascinates me. I grew up with
legally,
yes, all legally, all legally. No, we ain't trying to break no laws, getting arrested, and nothing like that. But I do. I just enjoy guns.
That's cool. Man, I do too, man. I used to think I didn't really need a gun, but I can fight a little bit, but I'm also at a point in my life where if I say I deserve to have my butt whooped, okay, I deserve that. If I sign up for a fight and get my tail whooped, okay, I signed up for that.
Right.
But if it's to the point where I don't deserve to be beat up and I think I might not make it home, no, man, I'm strapped always. I got the high peasy in my car. I got a Glock in my car. I'm always strapped. My wife is always strapped just because such a weird time right now.
People are crazy, man. I remember as a kid, dude, we were riding four-wheelers. And at mom and dad's growing up, we had 80 acres to ride on.
That's very cool.
It was great. We had four-wheelers, dirt bikes as kids, had a good life, man. But we were riding one day, and we were riding a trail on the edge of our property, and a neighbor come up, and we were kids. I was like 10 at most, okay? It's me and my older brothers and some friends riding four-wheelers. And, dude, we go down the trail. Okay, we go down, hang out, ride around, do whatever we do. We're coming back out. Well, next thing you know, we come back out. There's a dude standing in the middle of the trail, our trail,
yeah,
with a gun in his hand. And we were like, bro, what? We're kids.
Right.
And he was talking about us being on his property, and we weren't. We were not on his property.
That's your property.
Yeah, it's got my family's name on the property, on the deed, And it was wild. We're kids. Why are you going to pull a gun on kids?
Y'all were like, how old?
I was 10, maybe. 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, if you was 15, 16, I could see that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. Because you're big at 15, 16. Right. 10 years old, man, that's pretty crazy.
Now, I'll say I was the baby. I was young. So they were probably 14, 15, whatever. Yeah. But either way.
Were they really big?
No.
Yeah, see, that's not
There
cool.
was one kid, his name was Donovan. He was weirdly tall. The dude's 6'6".
Okay, yeah.
I mean, obviously he was probably 6 foot then, but either way, he was a tall kid. He was just tall and skinny. But no, people are crazy, dude.
Yeah,
come find out, dude was a cop, I think.
Yeah, see, that's weird.
Yeah, bro.
Why? You're a cop, man. Chill out. It's probably not your property. So what are you doing? I could see if maybe y'all had crossed onto his property or hanging out around his building or something.
Yeah, for sure.
But you said it was 80 acres?
Yeah, we had 80 acres. And we were close to the edge of the property, but we were still on our property. There's clearly marked fence. Property lines. It's weird. It's a mess.
Why do you think now I don't again, we've talked about the police some on here. Why do you think some cops are like that guy around here? Because there's nice ones. There's good cops here.
Great cops.
There is. But there's also a couple that's
power tripping.
What do you got going on in your life that you think this is how you should be?
I don't know, man. I think maybe they were bullied as kids.
What if I think maybe they were bullied and also some of them probably were bullies.
Yeah. I think that's a good possibility, man. It's just
because I bullied some people in high school that I shouldn't have. So bullying's it's a circle, man. People don't you get bullied, right? all of a sudden you get a little bigger, a little stronger and stuff. You're gonna get you some too,
Right.
and then that person is gonna keep going like that.
Yeah.
And like I've had to, like, didn't have to, but I've called so many people and apologized for what I did. Like, hey, look, I'm so sorry for what I did. I didn't mean to.
Right,
Like, it
that's
is crap, trash of me to do.
Yeah.
But like, I've never seen them just go on to like, I've never seen them go on to like be police and bully somebody.
Right.
I was working at the jail one time and this guy goes, he says, he goes, you got drugs? And the guy goes, no. He goes, I know you had drugs because my buddy said he found them on you. And he goes, your buddy's retarded. Talking to the cop, that's hard. That's hard R. Okay. We don't say retard. This is a quote. Okay. So he said, your buddy's retarded. And this cop goes, he's big, nice guy, I'm sure, big guy. And he goes, what did you say? and the guy goes, I didn't have any drugs. He goes, no, the other thing. He's breathing heavy. And the guy goes, oh, I said your buddy's retarded for saying I've got drugs. And that cop goes, the best thing you can do is get out of my town because I'm going to pull you over and arrest you every time I see you. You don't say that about my brother. I'll never forget it. And like I'm sitting there like at that point in my life, like I find everything funny. I'm just like, I can't laugh. They're going to fire me. But why are you acting like that? Your job is not to watch your brother's back. There's no blue line that you're walking. Your job that you signed up for, morally and legally, was to serve and protect that pillhead, that druggie, man. So that's just a weird thing for me to see.
I don't know, man. People get power and they abuse it.
They really do.
It's a sad thing.
Happens in fights too. Like you'd be there's so much crap that you see that just goes on that it's insane. Yep. Speaking of fights, man, what about Trevor getting a contract?
Bro.
Huh?
That was nuts.
Yeah.
I didn't have a voice for like 4 days.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And it was one of those things like I told him too, man. I was like, when it started, I got nervous for a minute. That first round was iffy, and I was like, oh my God.
Did you watch my fight companion with it?
I didn't get to see it. No.
I was never nervous for him. Really? I was always just, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Because that guy's the guy that he was fighting was a front runner.
Yeah.
He had beat a lot of people that were 0-1 as pros.
Right.
He was 5-0. It was a good record.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if we look at the records, every opponent was 0-1, 1-1. It was bad.
Right.
Trevor fought dogs. I said, so that guy's going to break away heavy. And then Trevor, at the end of the first round, I said, Trevor, TKO, second round. Sure enough, TKO, second round. Keep going. I want to hear.
But the first round, I was like, man, he caught him with a body shot. And you can go back and watch the interview at the end of the fight or whatever. He talked about it. He said that body shot hurt. He said I couldn't poker face that one. And I seen it. He didn't poker face it. And I was like, oh, God. I got real nervous for a minute. And but it was right there towards the end of the first round. I believe Malik Lewis had his back. And I'm pretty sure Trevor had his back. Excuse me, had Trevor. Trevor had Malik's back to the cage. I can't talk. And he was sitting there. And he's like hand fighting with him. And Trevor just stopped for a second. And just like as soon as he opened his eyes, me and Logan Neal looked at each other, and Logan goes, "There he is."
Had to get woke up a little bit.
And you know how it went from there. But it's crazy. Say somebody from the middle of nowhere, Sand Mountain, fighting on the biggest stage in the world.
It's pretty cool, and I'm gonna take a lot of credit for that. Not all of it. I'm gonna take a lot of that credit because 4 years ago, we'll go back. I'm going to take due credit. I know credit's been given to Aries, whatever, and that's great. That's awesome. I'm going to take credit, just mine. No more.
Right.
No more.
You did give him a platform to start.
Even before that.
Well, yeah.
We go back 15, 16 years. And there was a time when no one thought Trevor was going to do anything.
Right.
And me and him's got whatever we've got going right now. And whether he'll say it or not, he knows. Just like I know, he's done good stuff for me. There's no argument. He helped me build a company.
Yeah.
There's also stuff that we've got to get squared away, because we have to. And 15 years ago, I've been telling him he should be fighting people and making money for it because of how he fights. Right. Whether he wins a belt or not. I always told him, I said, whether you win a belt or not, that's up to you. That's how hard do you want to work. Right. I said, but you're going to get paid to fight anyway because people want to see that. They want to see somebody get tough and then, dog somebody out. They want to see that all the time. That's an easy sell.
Yeah.
And we built a platform over 4 years, so 15 years, and then over 4 years. Again, first show, we all know what kind of legal trouble he had and stuff. No one really thought he was going to do jack shit, right? No one thought he was going to beat Greg. You know who didn't think he would beat Greg? Jeff didn't think he would beat Greg. Jeff will tell you that.
Right.
Jeff told Trevor that. No one thought that.
Right.
I did.
Yeah.
I thought he could. I didn't know that he would.
Yeah,
I was like, he can. I was like, I knew he can.
Right.
And that's how Greg's got such a big following that it put following on Trevor. They saw Trevor be tough and dog out. And that got his following growing, and it kept that following growing. How much of that fight, and again, all the work is his, but the platform, that's my platform. And because we built that name up, no one cared.
Right.
And then holy shit, they did.
Right.
It's kind of crazy seeing how the platform's kind of playing out right now. There's still a lot of people on. It's just crazy seeing everything play out. And it's very, very cool for us. It's good for him. It's good for his family. I saw his mom the other day, his stepmom the other day at Walmart, and told her congratulations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If me and you were mad at each other, I'm not mad at your dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we have a friendship and thing that we need to talk about at some point, business at least.
Yeah.
And like you said, the first round was pretty hard for him, man. How much of that do you think was nerves? How much of it do you think that guy was big? Do you think he could make 45?
Malik Lewis make 45?
No, Trevor.
No, I don't.
Trevor looked small to Malik.
To Malik, but Malik's a big 55er, man. In my opinion, he's tall and he's long.
Do you think with I thought jacked-wise, Trevor looked small to that guy too.
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
I think with a real nutritionist right now while he's young,
Yeah.
I think he should drop to 45. I think he should. Just looking at that size, because they're just going to get bigger.
Well, yeah.
So put Trevor by Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler. Jacked.
Holy shit.
Michael Chandler is jacked, bro.
Put him by Michael Chandler. Trevor's going to be a little taller, but Chandler's going to be like, what?
Yeah.
There's big people, but they have nutritionists. And again, it's his first fight.
Yeah.
He got the contract, so that's done. I wonder when the next one will be and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I hope, I think they need to, someone was talking about him fighting Bryce Mitchell the other day.
They're not in the same weight class.
There's 45.
Yeah.
I don't think he should fight somebody like Bryce Mitchell yet, because Bryce Mitchell's been out there and he's not main evented, but he's got to be on the top of a few cards.
Yeah, he's been on the pay-per-view side of things.
Yeah, his jiu-jitsu is a little, I think, higher up, because he's what, like a purple belt, brown belt? What is he?
I'm not certain.
He's belted pretty good. He's got, he's already been in that flow a little bit. I think they need a few more fights against newer people before it start talking about fights like that, because he beat Edson Barboza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a feather. That's a feather in a cap, man.
Oh, for sure.
If I had beat Edson,
he's been around for a minute.
yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
he heel kicks people, kills them.
Yeah.
Did you see when he heel kicked Terry Edom, the big heel kick?
Yeah.
Do you know what happened to that guy?
Left his body.
Do you know what that happened to that guy after though?
No.
So he's not the same anymore. Different person, different life, different brain. He is in his hometown, naked, running through town. He's punching cars, man. He's kicking doors in, but he got brain damage.
Really?
Yes. Why else? I'm not saying it's 100% from the Barboza knockout.
Right.
Probably a big part from that.
Probably didn't help nothing.
Probably a big part from that. And to that, man. The no ground and pound rule in Alabama your first couple of fights.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Yes. No. I don't necessarily like that rule. I believe that just takes away from the sport. That might have saved my life a little bit in my debut. Yeah. Looking back, I fought Jose, and he threw some shots to the body, and it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
I really feel it. But there was a point he got knee on belly. And
knee on belly sucks.
Oh, it's terrible, especially when you're the size of Jose Evans.
Such a big person.
And that's a mountain of a man with his knee.
Now you know why you lost that fight, right?
I'd been training for like 4 months.
No. Okay, so 4 of those months, how often was you in the gym?
I was in the gym.
No, bro.
No,
No, because I was there every day. I was there every day. I was
3
there.
days a week at least.
No way. Like two, maybe. I promise. You can go back and ask Jeff. You only lost to that fight. You only lost that fight with Jose because you had that was your first fight, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure the nerves were real.
Nerves were really.
But there was times like I'd see you like 2 days a week, and I was like, man, you're fighting such a big person. Like you
Tell me about it.
have to be there.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think you could have won. I think you just had to be there. I think that's not. I didn't really have an issue with them then. But I think if you had put in a real to life camp, like I understand missing Wednesday, but had you put in a real to life camp, you was like chomping at the bit. I think you'd have beat that guy, man.
Think so?
I think, yeah, I really do.
I think I had the ability.
Yeah.
I think one other thing that by no means I'm not making excuses. I lost, whatever it is, what it is.
I made the excuse he didn't train. He'll lie. He say whatever he wants to.
I feel like I was there.
Not the greatest
3 days a week.
Not the greatest camp you could have put in Boston.
Probably not the greatest for sure.
And that's a big person.
That is a monstrous person.
Okay.
Listen, in my opinion, I probably shouldn't have debuted against the guy.
I don't hate it. Is the thing. Like if he had been like knocking people out cold.
But yeah.
Yeah. Like so people always say I match my buddies good, like hard. Yeah. But also when I fought at the AFC show, who'd I get?
I mean, you fought what? Trevor Manley? Is that his name?
Trey Manley. I got Jack City, son.
You didn't. I will say that. That is one thing I will give you.
Thank you.
The props on. You didn't take a scrub.
And they were in my inbox.
Oh, I'm sure.
They were. They was like, I'll do it. I was like, no, I better not.
Yeah.
What would y'all have done? I matched all y'all hard, and then I got here against like an 0-5.
I'd have been livid.
Little mad, right?
I know. I would have been beyond a little mad.
No respect. Like, dude, this guy really is a scumbag piece of shit. But no,
I don't think I'd have put it like that. But
I would have. If I was fighting for you and you had made me fight like Trevor or Jeff Powell or like Sid Wheeler or something, and you got here and fight like some kid with like one arm and like no leg. I'd be like, you're a real piece of shit, buddy. So on the shoulder to the elbows, man. What if an amateur throws a heel kick? Is that not more dangerous than not elbows? Is that not more dangerous than a little bit of ground and pound?
I think so. I mean, to be honest with you, I've never landed one in a fight. I've landed them sparring a little bit training, and I mean, I don't spar hard. I just don't. I don't like to spar.
I spar hard to the body.
Yeah, I'll throw to the body a little bit.
Pow!
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm not going to. It's hard to say,
I feel like a heel kick is like more dangerous. So like when Mark Young fought for us, he fought I don't remember the guy's name, Spanish guy though. First show we ever had, might have been the second, but I'm pretty sure first show. He fought the Spanish guy. Nice young man, and Mark Young punches him. Whop! And the dude crumbles. And I told Mark, I said, if you drop him, step away, the ref will stand him up. He won't make you go down to him because that's the rule. Like you step away, they have to get up. You don't have to go down. Right. Ignorant, but you don't have to. If you back away, the ref's going to make you stand up because he can't stall there. Yeah. So I said, drop him. I said, back away. Don't go crazy in there because he can't do anything. Yeah. So he drops him. Wham. All right. Dude gets up. Mark waves him up. They get up again. Drops him again. Drops him a third time. Finally, the ref calls it. Right. So it was more dangerous, I believe, getting dropped to the three, getting that shut off, instead of just getting shut off, pop, pop, pop. Ref's like, nah, let's get you out of here.
Yeah. Because that's like the sport of boxing. People talk about how dangerous MMA is versus boxing. If you look at it in boxing, say like Floyd Mayweather, okay, he goes in, he drops somebody, gives them the 10 count?
Yep.
Or 8 count?
Get it, 10 count.
10
count, I think.
Yeah. I think
might be an 8. I've heard standing 8 count too. That might be kickboxing.
I'm not sure. I don't follow the sport of boxing. But like just the idea of it. Anyway, you're sitting here, you get dropped and you're Well, Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
And Deontay Wilder. Okay. Fury was asleep.
Yeah, he was.
For a second.
He was.
But he came back too and ended up winning the fight. But if you think about it, he's giving you just a second to clear your head and then it's like, oh, you're holding.
You're fighting again.
Yeah, you're fighting again. You're sitting here. He checks your gloves. He just puts a little pressure on your gloves. Oh, no, you can hold your gloves up, whatever. Okay. I hope you can hold them up to your face because he's coming to knock you out again. And
it's crazy that he came back and won from that.
That was wild.
Dude, I love Tyson Fury so much. And I like him just because he's a normal-looking dude.
Yeah.
Just normal. Hey.
Peak male performance.
Yeah, that's it. He got like a beard belly. He's just, what are we doing? It's like, he don't even look good warming up. Yeah. And then gets out there to work and it's like, bam. It's like Nate. Nate's a normal guy. Yeah. Really, if we're talking, he's a normal guy. Flabby, pop, but he's different. He's going to pop you in your shit.
I don't understand that guy. He just gets better as he goes.
Yeah, it's some people do, man. Well, the Diaz brothers, as long as they can flow and pop you, man.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's
just volume striking. If you look at it, it's not. I mean, yes,
They sneak in a hard one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nate's not just out there just sleeping people. He
No.
has.
Yeah.
He's put people, but it's volume striking.
Yeah.
It's like that Max
It's
Holloway.
overwhelming, man.
Yeah, it's insane volumes. Pop, 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 pop.
And that's how Jeff wants me to be. And I'm like, well, Jeff, I understand, but also it's like, man, it's really scary to like stand in front of a person.
Yeah.
Now sparring, man, I get out there. Shit, I've had good rounds with everybody. Like everybody except Sid Wheeler.
Sid Wheeler was a freak.
He's a terrifying human.
Yeah,
I've had good rounds with almost everybody I've ever went with, and it's hard to go out there and just pop, 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 boom, boom, and just get that forward pressure going, bite down on that mouthpiece, and really get the forward pressure.
Yeah.
And it'll wilt people, man. They're like, well, I hit him really hard, and he just kept chomping at the bit.
Forward, yeah.
What do you think about Dillashaw popping for
Sean O'Malley?
No.
Or no. That's Peter Yan, I'm thinking.
Dillashaw popped for when
the Peds?
Yeah, the same stuff that
John Jones?
No, Lance Armstrong.
Oh.
It was EPO.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what EPO does?
I don't.
Okay, so what kind of fighter is Dillashaw? He knocks people out, but what does he do also?
He's a wrestler.
Nah, but when he's striking people, what's happening?
What do you mean?
How's his strikes? Is it one single shot or is it 7, 8, 9, 10?
7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, so what EPO does, so that's a high output fighter, right? That's what that is. Same with cycling. You got to go. That's high output, high cardio. So what EPO does, and again, I'm not a scientist, but what EPO does is it adds, in a way, more whichever cell, red or white blood cell, is oxygen, and it fills it just full. So like you'll have people doing EPO, and they'll have to wake up at like midnight or 3 in the morning because their blood gets so thick, and they'll have to go run it off. They have to go run. If not, you're gonna have a heart attack. You're gonna die.
Oh my god.
So Dillashaw, yes, 10, 9, 15, beautiful hit combos, man.
Yeah.
What's his name? His coach.
I don't know.
It's damn, Jeff would know.
Jeff knows all that stuff.
But Dwayne Ludwig is who it is.
Oh.
So he makes his it's Dwayne Ludwig. We met Dwayne Ludwig. Me and Jeff did.
Seen that.
Yeah, dude.
Huntsville, right?
So cool, man. Jeff peed on himself. It was crazy to be there.
That's Jeff's boy, man.
Yeah. And not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying on Dillashaw's side, that drug, that's what that is known to do. And I could have wrote it off if like he was just taking it and getting super big. I can understand.
Yeah.
But instead, you are a high output fighter, and you failed for something that is known to make you be more high output.
Right.
That was strange for me to see, man. That was strange.
Yeah.
And he's back. He's fighting again.
Yeah. It just makes you wonder what kind of success he's going to have if he's going to be able to carry
He just beat, what's his name? Dude that flying kneed Frankie Edgar. That's Corey Sandhagen. He just beat him. He beat him, man. So, I don't know.
The dude's good, man.
He really is.
I mean, he kind of falls like if you look at it from, I guess you say that perspective, whatever, on the PEDs.
Can you be GOAT or not on PEDs? I don't
Right.
think so.
That's what I'm saying. Like you look at the John Jones situation versus that situation. I mean, yes, John Jones is clean now, I reckon. Supposed to be.
Yeah. But if he's already had like 10, 15 years on it, his body's like, nah, bro. This is what we is, dog. This is what and his brothers popped too.
Really?
But 2 brothers. He's got 3 brothers, I think, that play in the NFL. Two out of those 3 popped. So 3 out of 4. And now if it's just John and 2 brothers, then 2 out of 3 popped.
Right.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 out of 4.
I don't know.
I think it's probably a family of steroids. I've never really just telling the truth, I've took steroids in my life.
Right.
No one would ever know. Well, Sam, you're not jacked at all. No, I know. I don't lift weights. I didn't do it. I did it one time just to kind of see what would happen. Nothing really. It was not just an overnight change, man.
Right.
Nothing crazy. Do you know where the phrase "don't drink the Kool-Aid" comes from?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
I've heard it for a long time.
Okay.
I don't know where it came from. I know what it means. But.
Okay, so there's a phrase called "don't drink the Kool-Aid." Who was the? Hang on, I gotta look it up so I can show you. There was this guy a long time ago. He got all these people together on like this island. They were gonna govern themselves. They were a church. He was preaching Jesus. I don't believe that was the same Jesus. Now we're gonna get into some pretty fun stuff. Now we're like a half hour in. We're easy. I recently, this is my soundbite for the day. I recently stopped believing in Jesus, except for in days that end in Y.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So if they're good, they'll clip that bit out. They're like, that guy's a piece of crap. He said he don't believe in God except for days that end in Y. That's every day, boss.
And then they sit there like, oh wait.
Yeah, that's every day. That's the soundbite for the day. It's Jim Jones. You know Jim Jones?
I don't think I do.
Okay, so the phrase "Don't drink the Kool-Aid." Jim Jones had like 1,000 people on an island. They were their own people. They were doing this. So that's us.
Hey,
That's the name of the episode. What if God was one of us? So while we're on that, what if he was? No, what do you remember when that song came out? What if God was one of us?
I would have heard that song.
Okay, so it goes, "What if God was one of us, just a stranger on a bus trying to make his way home?" Now, the lady that wrote that song, she caught a lot of flack from the religious community because she was saying, "What if God is just that homeless guy over there checking y'all out?"
Right.
Why do you think she caught so much flack for that? While I look this up,
To be honest with you,
yeah,
if you want to look at it in that sense and you want to take it that way, I guess you could say it could be taken in a negative connotation, just due to the simple fact of somebody's homeless, they're this, they're that. I guess say it's like a negative light. But if you go back and you read scripture, it talks about I can't quote the exact scripture.
I get it.
But it's talking about Jesus. He's telling his disciples, pretty much he's homeless. He has nowhere to lay his head. So yeah,
so Jesus was a homeless person for a little bit.
While he was traveling,
Yeah,
doing ministry, he's talking about the Son of God didn't have anywhere to lay his head. He was going from town to town. It's not like he was just going to Israel one day and then coming home and then resting up for the weekend and then going here. No, it doesn't. To my understanding, now I could be wrong. I'm no scholar, not a theologian or anything like that. But if you go back and you read and you see where he's talking about it, he's going from place to place to place to place. It's not like he's pulling a 37-foot gooseneck in a 2022 F-250 Super Duty. You know what I'm saying? So in theory, if you think about it, if he's going from town to town, he ain't got a house. He's not pulling a trailer.
yeah.
So
why do you think, especially you see it in this area, why are we so hard on the homeless people that we do come across?
Man,
that's not the Bible, man.
No, it's not, and that's the thing. It drives me nuts. And I may catch flack for this from church people and religious people. And I'm gonna say this right here. I'm gonna preface what I'm about to say with this. I'm not, and this is gonna sound weird, my throat for a loop, but I'm not a religious person.
Yeah.
I'm not. A religion is a set of rules. You have to do this and that and this and that and this and that, and you can't do this and you can't go here and you can't do that. No, I don't want that. I want a relationship with Jesus. You know what I'm saying? To be a Christian is to be Christ-like, to walk in daily relationship. Like if you look in the book of Genesis, he talks about Adam and Eve walking in the cool of the garden with him every day. That's a relationship with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not about religion. It's about relationship with Jesus and communion with him, a daily thing. But the whole, looking down on the homeless community, yeah, I'll admit it. I've been there. I've done that. I've kind of, pull up to the off ramp and somebody standing here with a sign and I'm just looking at my phone, just waiting on a line.
I remember that time you had a cheeseburger and you threw it at that guy.
I don't.
I didn't have. He wouldn't do that. But I get what you're saying.
No, and don't get me wrong. There's times I'll help. If I can, if I've got the money,
I'll say I don't think I've ever really. I don't think I ever have, because we get told all the time. That there are people that are just, some people are collecting money.
Right.
On the subject of homeless, why do you think there's so many homeless veterans in our country?
Man,
that's hard. That's
a hard one. And
we could say, well, they should have managed their money better, this, that, and that. Man, that guy he's probably if he was a combat veteran, what do you think's really going through his head? You think it's, oh man, better budget my money good, or oh man, I melted that guy's skull in front of his kid, and then I had to also do it to the other kid. You don't think it's always something?
No,
that's Jamestown.
Oh wow.
That's the phrase, don't drink the Kool-Aid. They had 100-gallon drums of Kool-Aid. It was knockoff Kool-Aid. It shouldn't even be don't drink the Kool-Aid. It should be don't drink the Flavor Aid. So they had it and they put cyanide in it, man. And he told them they were going to go be with God and that they didn't want the government was coming to shut them down because they didn't like what they was doing. So they had all these people drink this cyanide. Kids, adults. Some people did it by, want. Some people tried to say, nah, we don't really want to do it. We're scared. No, I don't want my kids to die. and they drank it. That's the phrase, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Why do you think, and he was preaching God to people. I don't believe that he was God for a second, had anything to do with God and Jesus, but he used that. How do you think there's so many people why do you think it's so, not easy, why do you think it's so easy for cults to get started, that they think it's Jesus wanting them to do these things? That's a good one. You didn't know you didn't know.
Didn't expect that one. No, I think I think that a lot of people, and I've experienced this in my life, and I've seen things, and I've heard things from people. I've experienced this. Put it that way. There's just enough truth in it to make it sound really, really good.
Yeah.
And then they bring the rest of it up underneath it, and it's off the wall.
Free guns. Hey, you can't have sex, but I can. I'll take that sin for you, buddy. You can't have sex with your wife, but I can do this.
Yes, it's just, I don't know. I think the enemy will take and put just enough truth in something to make it look great and sound great, but in all reality, it's not. You know what I mean? It's just it's like a cover page of a book. And it's like, okay, the cover page of the book is saying, ABC, whatever. And then you open the book, and in the next page, it's something just a little bit.
They're taking and they're tweaking that scripture.
Just a little bit, yeah. And the next thing you know, you're in 2 chapters, and it's not even, whatever. It's off the wall stuff, not even related. Or
I think a big reason that they happen is everyone wants to feel like they're a part of something big. Yeah. Everybody wants to be a part of something.
Yeah.
Like for a long time, I wasn't a part of anything, and then the AFC, we built all that, and I was a big part of that. I've got a small part of making it happen, but it was a big part of my life, is how I mean that to come out. Now I get to run the gym. I'm a really good kickboxing coach now, thanks to Jeff, man. He's the man. I get to be a part of something. I think they prey on a weaker people. And again, I think you're right. I think they do kind of say stuff to them like this, man, we got to go see God, man. We got to go be with him. And like, dude, that's so awful. He, and at the end of all those people, they drank that Kool-Aid, man. A few people, so they brought a camera crew from the news. The news came. They were like, hey, look, we want to see what's going on here. We're here to interview you. One guy snuck into he was just there to help. Yeah. So he comes in, he's here doing all this, and he started realizing like, hey, something's crazy here. People are being really insane. Yeah. So he said, well, look, if any of y'all want to come back with us, feel free. And some of them did try to go back with him, and one extra guy did. So they're getting on the airplane. Again, I'm not educated completely on this. I've watched it. They hop on the airplane, and all of a sudden, like 4 or 5 trucks pop up. And the guy on the plane, boom, pow, 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 pow. They start killing everybody. What? Gunshots. That's him, Jim Jones. Gunshots everywhere. It was called the People's Temple, man. Gunshots everywhere. People are getting shot. Jim Jones grabs the mic and says, hey, we're doing it now. We've got to do it now. Because the government, at that point, guns had been fired. Right. They were coming, man. Just crazy to even think about. Do you know about Mount Carmel?
What about it? What do you mean?
I think it's Mount Carmel. Hang on, let me double up, make sure. So there was this, again, another cult, and it's not all culty. We're going to get onto some good stuff too. While I'm looking this up, I heard this the other day. It was a British comedian. That other guy, I'm sure you've heard it at this point. Why? And it's again, I believe in Jesus. This is me talking to you. You read your Bible more. You're around more people that read their Bible regularly than I am, and I would love to have other people on. So if you think other people should come on sometime that we can talk to and I can ask them questions, please. I want to inform people and get everyone's opinion on stuff. I want it to sound good. Right. But this is my opinion before I ask the question. Okay, so how far back do we go before we get to Jesus? It's like 2,000 years, right? 2020?
Roughly.
Right now, 2,020 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so before that, there was a time period, and that was when there was like Zeus and all these other things, right?
In some places, yeah. Okay,
that's what they believed. I'm not saying that those gods weren't real, but I'm going to ask you your opinion on this in a second. I'll word it good. Here's what I think probably. I'm going to believe in Jesus. I'm going to stick to the Jesus part. I'm going to say God and Jesus. But I'm going to think because of the time period that they were in, if they were really people dropping down and doing stuff, if that's really what people were seeing, because there was the burning bush, there was this, there was that, blah, blah, blah. I think if they were seeing Zeus and stuff like that, I think it was more of them seeing a flash of an angel that did drop down. Or God did pop down and was doing stuff in the earth, the world, right? And I think they were just in such a different time that God's like, I can't really talk to y'all yet. Y'all are like insane people. You're cave people. You don't know what's going on. And they went and made their own thing from that. That's what I want to believe from that. Because if not, there has to be some kind of explanation. You know what I mean? So why is it? Again, there's been a lot of gods. What has made you realize that ours is the real one and not Zeus or blah or blah or blah? Why is it God? And I mean this good. I just want to hear your answer.
I get you. I get you. Growing up where I've grown up, right here, Sand Mountain. I grew up on Sand Mountain and in Trenton and down in Rising Pond and stuff. Growing up in the Bible Belt, it's one of those things. It's always been a prominent thing in our lives. But for me personally, I've been through a lot, man. Like I've been through a lot, and like He's done so much for me. And when I dig into the Scripture, dig into the Word, and I read these things and watch them play out, and I've seen stuff play out in my life that lines up with that. It just kind of it's not like somebody's out here, they're seeing something and they're just going and writing it down in a book and trying to get it published in time for me to see it. You know what I mean? This has been around for a long time. You know what I mean? This is before Austin Higdon. This is before Sam. This is a long time.
This is me talking to you, but not before Zeus.
Right. I get you.
You think that's possible that they were seeing God?
I mean,
I like my God is jacked.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen the picture with the God on the cross and he flexes out of it?
Yeah.
I like my God to be jacked, man. Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you.
But what I'm saying is, like, you go back in, and I've read the Bible, not all the way through, but I've read a lot of it, and I'm working on getting it all the way through. But I've read things, and I've seen stuff happen. I've seen stuff that just kind of confirms what I've read. And then on top of that, like, He's just been so good to me, dude.
Me as well. He's let me do a lot.
I've done so much. I've been blessed so much. There's been situations I should have died. I had a car wreck. I guess it's probably 6 years ago now, 4 or 5, 6 years ago, somewhere in there. I flipped the car 4 times, end over end. My seat is the only seat that was the headrest on the back of my seat was the only seat not touching the ceiling or the roof of the car.
Good God.
I flipped end over end and landed upside down in the ditch and slid. I stopped 5 feet shy of like about a 10, 12 foot drop off into a creek. I should have died. I wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Thank God I was by myself.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't, whoever was with me would be dead. And it wasn't like I was just doing something stupid. I was driving down a road I've drove down my whole life, the road I grew up going to church on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The curve don't even look that bad. I've hung this curve at 70 and 80 racing.
Oh, he's getting it.
Oh, not that night. Not that day.
Son,
no,
God.
This day I was running 55 miles an hour. Yes, I will say the speed limit was 45. I was speeding a little bit. But like I said, I've hung this at 70 and 80 racing previous times. I don't know. They'd just done the shoulder of the road, redone the road, and there was gravel on the road. I guess it just slid out.
How often do people wreck there?
A lot more than what you'd think.
No, not racing. I get it. They're wrecking a lot.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Anyway, last thing I remember before everything stopped was the car, the rear end come out, and I corrected and overcorrected. Well, I nosed down in the ditch, and there's a culvert, like a driveway or a tile going into a field. And I hit that culvert like this, and it just. But I remember I held the steering wheel like this, and I said, "Oh God," and that's all I said, and that's all I could think to say. And I just held on. You know what I mean? I'm here for the ride at this point. I can't do nothing about it. And car flips, it stops, slide stops, whatever. Anyway, I sat there, I opened my eyes, and everything was. I was dazed. I don't think it knocked me out. I don't think it did. I just opened my eyes.
You didn't lose time.
Yeah. Like I was just sitting there, I was like, what in the world? What is going on? Like I'm terrified. I'm shaking. Adrenaline's pumping. I look around. It's like everything's in slow motion. And
I'm listening to you.
you're good. And it, I don't know. Anyway, it sounds like the car's on fire, so I'm freaking out trying to get out. And your boy's thick with like 2 C's, so I can't fit out the window. I go back in the car, get on my back, and just like kick off the headrest and steering wheel, get out of the car. And to look at it, man, it's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Know? Like I should have died.
Yeah.
The roof above my seat caved out. My seat is the only one that landed in the actual low spot of the ditch.
Yeah.
Where everything else was literally on the headrest. And then the roof above my seat was caved out.
Good God.
And you can't tell me. I'm not a lucky person.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
My wife, Melissa, says if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have luck.
Yeah, same.
Like, I'm just not a lucky person when it comes to stuff like that. So you can't tell me that that it wasn't God, you know?
I got a good question for you.
And then, I went and looked, going back and looking over things. Like I said, I stopped sliding 5 feet shy of that creek. And that stuck with me, man. I'm like, just 5 more feet and I would have drowned. I mean, there's no way I could have got out of that creek in time. Because it took me a good 3-4 minutes to get out of the car.
Crawl out.
Yeah, to crawl out. I had a gap about yay big to come out of where my window had busted between the ground and the door. And the windshield was busted all up, but it's still intact. I couldn't go to the windshield. The back glass the same way. So the back glass was about flat. But anyway, I got to thinking about it, and I looked the number up, 5. Everything has a meaning. A lot of things, numbers have biblical meanings. The number 5 means grace.
It's cool.
And it's just like, I was praying that following Sunday. I was at church. It was Father's Day weekend. And I played bass at the church we was going to at that time. And I was sitting there on the stool playing bass because I didn't have a broke bone, nothing. I was fine. I was scratched.
Car's busted.
Yeah, car's destroyed.
Yeah.
It's still destroyed. I know where it's at. But
Listen.
It's a good mic.
Yes, wow.
Anyway, I was sitting there on the stool, man, and I was a mess, dude. I was squalling. I was, playing.
Thank God.
Appreciate you, Jesus.
You man.
Appreciate you, big dog.
Yeah.
But I was just sitting there thinking, and the only thing that was really just in bad shape was my right thigh was super sore. I mean, it felt like you took a ball bat and just dinked. It was bad. I was limping everywhere, and I was sitting on the stool playing bass, and I was like, man, God deserves everything I give him. He literally just saved my life.
Let me live.
Yeah, like I should be dead. And I stood up. I just keep my weight on my left leg, and I stood up and I was playing. By the end of the day, I was playing church league softball that night.
That's pretty cool.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it just blows my mind. And the more I've read scripture and everything, it proves to me the existence of God. To me, He's been too good for me not to believe Him. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I have to look at it. I feel like everything good I've done in my life was because of God, and I just don't think I could do it without that.
Right.
Like even let's say somehow I die one day and it turns out, well, no, that's not it, man. It was Zeus. Well, I still needed to believe in that God to do a lot of the stuff I did. Because, man, for a while, I was just like in and out of jail. I was like getting drunk, wrecking cars. I wasn't in a good way. I needed it. I needed God in my life to do that. And I believe that when I die, I think there's some stuff I'm going to have to answer for. And I think that's true for everybody.
Absolutely.
But I hope, I hope to get an eternity with my kids. Do you think God does any punishment while we're on earth? Any? Or do you think it's all just like, I'm going to get you now? Like karma, etc.
To be honest with you, man, I really don't know.
That's a wild one, ain't it?
That is a wild one. It's one of those things. I'm looking at a picture on my car.
You're good.
But as far as punishment now,
yeah,
I don't think so.
No.
I have no biblical.
It's all at one time.
I think there's no biblical basing on this. It's just my opinion. I don't think so. I think we bring enough on ourselves.
Yeah.
I know me. I'm dumb sometimes, man. I do a lot of dumb stuff.
Have you ever heard about Lilith?
Yeah.
Okay, what are your thoughts on that? I need to know. Is that a thing? Is she real or was it just Eve?
I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
Like,
Now, there's other books of the Bible that we haven't got to read, right? Like the Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff, or
right,
no?
That's what I've heard. But
That's what I hear.
That's what I've heard. But man, I don't know.
Is it Eve's fault?
Well, I think it's a group thing. I'm not gonna say it was just Eve's fault.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah,
Eve was probably pretty Adam, but you should have.
See, that's the thing. Like I heard this today. Okay, like at this Bible study I was at this morning, and it's something I've never thought about. You know, God holds the man accountable. Okay.
Yeah.
The man is the head of the household. He's the one supposed to be protector and provider and all this.
Yes.
Okay, so God holds the man accountable. So if you think about it, and you go back and you read the book of Genesis, Eve was deceived. Okay. The enemy, the devil deceived Eve. Okay. He lied to her, he tricked her, he made her believe otherwise. Adam made a choice.
To do the same thing she did.
Yes.
Eve told him, hey, I got this. It's cool, man.
Yeah. Eve, like I said, she was deceived. It's not like she was just like, yeah, I know this is wrong, but I'm going to do it. No, she was, in her mind, she was like,
silver-tongued snake, son.
Yeah, I'm telling
he got it. He was silver-tongued.
And in her mind, she's like, yeah, he's right. No, Adam was like, well, I know he said this was wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway.
My wife is looking smoking, man, and she is very convincing.
Gorgeous.
She's got a leaf bra and panty on, and man, you remember those depictions? It was like a leaf,
fig leaf,
and a leaf like, oh, that's good, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there was a joke running in our youth group when I was coming up in church in youth group, talking about, you know, if we'd go back and smack Adam or whatever. Somebody said, I don't remember who it was.
I would drop him to the body.
Yeah, just kick him right in the fig leaf. Where's this picture?
What? So God knew that Judas was going to betray him, right?
Right.
That was forewritten. That was made to happen. No.
I believe, yeah. I believe it did. I believe it was supposed to happen because had it not happened, had Judas not betrayed Jesus, Jesus wouldn't have went to the cross. Had Jesus not went to the cross, we wouldn't have had atonement for our sins.
So do we not kind of owe some thanks to Judas?
That's my car.
Hang on.
It was rough.
Good God, son.
Tell me about it.
Hold on. We're going to show the world.
I'm telling you, man. To walk away from something like that. Was,
that's insane. Like, man, you're not super professional at it. That's all right. Look at that ride, son. That's how you reckon.
That was a 95 Geo Prism. Same thing's like a Toyota Corolla.
Like 60 miles to a gallon.
Bro, it done fantastic on gas. But it was.
So, do we owe some thanks to Judas on our salvation or no? Do you think God 100% sent him to hell? Or do you think, like, hey, we planned, this was made to happen? God. Was it predestined? Was it a not predestined, but a like a prophecy? Or well, how does that work? Did he? Because he did, like you said.
Yeah.
Had he not done what he did, God doesn't make it to the cross.
I mean,
it's hard for us to judge, right?
It's hard for us to judge. Since that's the thing. That whole.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I came prepared, boss.
You did. Did you write these down?
No, man. I've always sitting.
Stored in the dome. I like it.
I try to shoot off the cuff.
I hear you.
And the next one's really gonna blow your mind.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna like it.
I bet. I don't know, man. That's something I would like to talk to some my pastor.
We need to, man.
I would like to talk to Pastor Keith about that and just pick his brain on it.
Because it's a great question.
It is. It's a good question.
If it needed to happen, if it had to happen, and he was the man to do it, I have to feel like, and the next one I think we'll touch on it more. I have to think that God loved us. So, again, you know, he gave his son up, he gave his life, he did all this for us. I have to think if Judas just had to go to hell, I have to think that God like cleared out some stuff and really hooked it up. But I just don't know that he would have done it. Because what about the people what about the people that flogged God? What about the people that hung God? What about Pontius Pilate that did it? Yeah. What about him? Did he go to hell? He just did the law. He let them vote. Yeah. We've punished him. What would y'all like next?
Yeah.
Kill him. Oh, I mean, okay, he just holding the law. Did he go to hell?
I mean, that's the thing. That's not my thing to judge.
That's wild because we can't judge people. Good questions, man. You'll be thinking for weeks now.
I'm going to be thinking for a minute. and that's the thing, like, it's not our place to judge.
No.
I've had this conversation with a bunch of people, man, about all kinds of things. It's not our place to judge. It's my job to love you.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Eric Olson, a devil worshipping demon. He is. He really, truly is. He is.
yeah,
And around here, he ain't never gonna fit in. You know how many crosswords he said to me in my life? Nothing.
probably not.
Nothing. Calls me sir. Tells me he loves me. A great person. He would be judged incredibly harshly. Should he have an upside down cross? No. Should he do this, 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 and this? No. Should I find women attractive besides my wife ever? No. Should other people that are married do that? No. You're not
Right.
even supposed to look. You're not supposed to.
Right.
And so I don't hate him, and I always tell him the same thing, like, "Hey, I love you too, but I'm gonna pray for you." Because like, if I start
Yeah.
acting different, like
Right.
like, oh, he's devil, well, then I'm not really,
Right.
and I'm not bobbled up anyway, like it should be. But I
Nobody
know
is.
I'm not supposed to sit here and be like, that guy's just a scumbag. The only people that I find scumbags and when they were not supposed to judge, and people that I won't never not judge is child molesters, child killers. Sorry, you just getting it, boss. That's just what
I get you,
that's what it is,
I
man.
get you, man.
And
Nobody's perfect.
there's no, yeah, we can't do nothing about it. But everybody else, man, I try not to judge nobody. You can do what you want, do what you got to do, man. It's just why I thought that was a good question. I think
It is.
talk to your preacher, man, because like I'm gonna talk to people more about it because I think it's neat. On the next one, do you think God loved Satan, didn't he?
He did.
What was his name then? Lucifer,
Lucifer.
Morning Star, or just Lucifer?
I've always just
Lucifer.
It's been Lucifer to me.
So Lucifer wasn't a bad cat completely, right? Or was he?
At the beginning, he was the head angel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was the one that led the angel choir.
He was big dog.
He was the big dog. You know what I mean? Well, he's like a medium-sized dog. We got God, the big dog, and he loved me.
God, Jesus, Lucifer.
Oh, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Lucifer.
So Lucifer wanted to be up.
Yeah, he wanted to be top dog.
He knew he was strong and stuff.
Yeah, and that's why he got cast to earth. And then,
God loved him though a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, but let me ask you this: you love your girls.
Yes.
It doesn't stop you from, if they're acting up, you punish them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's the same thing.
That's where we're going.
Hey.
So if my kids mess up, short of killing somebody, short of killing a sibling, all right,
Right.
that's gonna be pretty hard to get by, man.
That's gonna be tough.
I'm raising them good. I don't think that's ever gonna be a thing.
Right.
But I get angry on them a minute. I might whoop their butt. I try to get past that. Try to. You've been punished. Going. You think Satan could repent today? He's continued to do bad. God is all powerful. He's kept being bad. All this.
Yeah.
Did him and God talk? Can they talk?
Well, it says the thing, like, if you think about it, hell's eternal.
Yeah.
So if you're there, you're there. So personally, I don't think so.
Is God strong enough to just go, hey, we're going to make it not so bad
I mean,
if you repent?
Yeah, he is. He is, by all means. I believe he is wholeheartedly. But like I said, hell's eternal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like one of those things. It's black and white. You know what I mean? It's this or it's that. There's no gray area.
I think it would be an awesome story in the Bible if, and it's not, but I think it would be a really, really cool turn of events if all of a sudden Satan repented and was walking around hell preaching the gospel to those lost souls.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That would be dope.
Huh?
That would be wicked cool.
God's up there like crying right now. He's like, man, that's a good story, Sam. What are you doing, man? Get out of it. But God also knows. God put me here to tell a story, man. He put me here to weave tales. I can't help it. I like talking to people. I like getting info, man. I like doing that. To me, that would just be the most, like, say the earth ends all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Hell's still a thing, heaven's still a thing, and then all of a sudden something happens. Some just change, man. Satan finds a soul he falls in love with down there. And she's like, this is terrible. I messed up, yada, yada. And he's like, I'm going to go talk to the big dog. And he goes up heaven flames and all. He's like, look, man, what can I do? And God's like, you got to repent, man. You got to repent and you got to come back and be what I wanted you to be the whole dang time. I just want you to be my son. I want you to be my buddy.
Yeah.
And God's like, he knows. He's like, this is about that girl.
You just trying to true love.
Satan's like, yeah, man, it is. Well, I think a lot of that is, and that makes me think, like, I'm truly in love with my kids and my wife. I got to take them to church more. At least play gospel music on Sunday. I got to get them around God more. But I really do think that would be an awesome ending to the Bible. Better than the ending now with everything
scary.
being kind of scary.
It's
I think the
a little
best
scary.
ending is that the devil preaching the gospel. That'd be a crazy thing to see.
Yeah.
On Mount Carmel, there was this group. We're almost done. This is a good conversation today.
Good.
You know Waco?
Waco.
You ever heard of Waco?
Like Waco, Texas? Waco?
Yeah. So there was this group there. We'll get his name in a minute because I don't know it. What's his name? David Koresh. Now, he was preaching that he was the second coming of God. He was the return. He was here. You couldn't have sex with your wife or anyone else, but he would do it for you to carry that sin. He did. He impregnated people. So what they were doing was, look. So they had amassed all these guns, and the ATF got word of it, that they had amassed these guns, legally owned.
Yeah.
But they had amassed them. And the ATF, the whatever task force that is, was not cool with that. So they rolled up on them, man, and they had like a 2 or 3 or 4 a week long standoff with them. The United States, the military, the police and stuff, that's him, were playing like, they cut all their power, right? They were playing like crazy music and dolphins dying noises in the background, like like freaking them out, man. Like it was never gonna go good. So they lock all the kids in this side room to keep them safe from bullets and stuff.
Right.
Well, the ATF shot tear gas in, and then they also sent. I don't know that it was flamethrowers. I think the guns made it ignite. I might be wrong, but it made the whole compound burn down. And the kids were inside the cooler when it happened. They died too, man. Again, not really so many questions about this guy. I'm aware this guy's a scumbag. He was preaching gospel in the where he thought he had broke the seventh seal is what he was saying. He had done this, and this was the seventh seal, was their thing they were going through. So he lied to a lot of people, and it's too late to leave. You can't walk out. You might get shot. Kids don't know what to do.
Right.
He did a lot of people bad. On that, what are your thoughts? We'll watch this just because it's a neat thing to see. What do you think about Osteen? Why? First off, prosperity preaching. What are your thoughts on that?
Well,
the way, and I don't mean if you ask God, he'll provide.
Right.
The money's always going to be there. God's always provided for me.
Right.
I mean, hey, send me $5,000. God gonna send you $100,000.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
Where you at on that?
And now, see, I'll preface this with saying I don't know a whole lot about Joel Osteen.
Let me say one thing on it.
Yeah.
So there was a flood in Louisiana. New Louisiana, right? Yeah, Louisiana. They have a big, nice church. Yeah. And people went to the church to get in and be safe from that flood, that tsunami.
Right.
He told them no.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So with that being said.
Well, I don't agree with prosperity preaching. What little bit I know about it. Okay. Now that is just, that's a red flag to me. You know what I mean? As a Christian, as a preacher of the gospel, you're a servant. You know what I mean? You're here to help people. You're here to show people love. And last time I checked, if I love somebody, I'm not going to leave them and standing in floodwaters.
No, man.
The church is supposed to be, it's not just like a hangout for saved people to come and see each other on Sundays and Wednesdays. No, it's not supposed to be like that. It's not a hangout club. It's supposed to be a hospital for the sick and the dying in this world. That's what the church is, the church building. It's a place for people to come to be lifted up, to be encouraged, to come to know who Jesus is, or to come to be built up. That way during the week they can go and they can tell people about Jesus.
Hey, this is awesome.
You know what I mean?
They were good to me.
Yeah, like it. As far as the way, like I said, what little bit I know. Okay, so I don't feel like I could give I don't think I can give like 100% accurate statement. So just a disclaimer. This is just what going off.
We're just talking.
Just a little bit that I know. I don't agree with it.
He should open that door.
Yeah, like that's not me. From what I've read in the Bible, it don't match.
Don't jive, does it?
Don't jive. No.
You got a big, nice $100 million church, boss. You better open that door.
Yeah.
And he'll answer for that, I think. Have you seen Vicky, what's that movie with that lady, Tammy Faye Baker? You know about Jim and Tammy Faye Baker?
I know that name.
You need to watch Through the Eyes of Tammy Faye. It's a good movie. It's don't watch it with your family. It's nothing. You're not gonna see a lot of nudity or nothing. It's about Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Jim Baker and Tammy Faye Baker. Jim's saying was, "God loves you. He really does." And so what he would do, he was a prosperity preacher. He did all that. He basically opened the he'd take donations. He got in a lot of trouble. He opened the third largest amusement park in the world. It was like Faith Land, or it was something different, Bible Land, or something crazy. But it was the third biggest, behind Disneyland and Disneyland. And then it was his, so It was very big.
Yeah.
Never got caught up. Never had any trouble. He would hook up with people, women, and the word is men, but no one knows.
Right.
We know he was doing bad stuff behind his wife's back. There's no proof of 100% that it was a man. So one lady that he had an affair with ended up in Playboy. And she got a lot of play off that because she had the affair with him.
Yeah.
So, third largest amusement park, no trouble, and you can still go visit the amusement park. I think it'd be very cool. Have you watched The Righteous Gemstones? Don't watch that because like I'm in church all the time, but it's kind of like it's not making fun of the Bible. Right. It's making fun of those people that are using the Bible to get rich is what it's doing. People would try to say it's something else, but that's, if you watch it, that's what it is. And so he third largest. So they're on the show, and again, they were always, "Hey, let us get your donations." They'd have phone lines just blowing up, money, money, money.
Right.
So one time he goes on and he says, "Hey, if you'll give me a small gift, not loan, not donation, gift. This is a gift to the church."
Yeah.
And he said, "If you'll give me a small gift of like $5,000, you'll get 2 days and 3 nights, or 3 days, 2 nights, whatever, a year at our resort, free and clear and paid," because they was using pay. Well, they did get the money that they needed, but they overdid. So some people couldn't get their rooms. They overdid, and that's when they were like, "Well, no, you frauded people," and that's when he got in trouble. He's still on the 700 network now. You know the 700 network?
Yeah.
And now he sells doomsday buckets. It's a bucket, and there's like food in it that's non-perishable, and it's doomsday buckets. But they're still letting him on there because he talks good, and it's a strange thing to see. The movie's great. It's so cool seeing some of the backstory and stuff, and not everything's bad. I don't want anyone thinking I'm anti-Bible and Jesus. I love God and Jesus. I'm totally against people using God and Jesus to get rich or take advantage of people, and that's why we get people on to talk about stuff. We're pretty much done for the day. Is there anything that you think people should know about God and Jesus while we have a platform to you, and you need to share this around? People see it. Is there anything you think people should know about God and Jesus while you're here?
If I could tell you just one or two things, personally for me, I can speak for nobody else other than me. It is solely the greatest decision I've ever made in my life. I've made a lot of bad decisions. I've made some pretty good decisions. I made a really good decision when I married my wife. She's fantastic. I love my wife. She's better to me than I deserve. But there's never been a peace that I've felt, or a love that I've felt than I do in the presence of Jesus, and know that He's got my back. That's one thing, you know what I mean? It's the best thing you'll ever do. No matter where you are, who you are, what you've done, where you've been in your life, there's grace that will cover it. There's grace that says, "I love you." I seen a thing, I think I shared it on Facebook a while back. He said, "I don't care how far you've run or how far you've gone. He just come home kind of God." And he is like,
on my question earlier.
Yeah. Like, I get you.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah. And for me, that's helped me a lot, because like I said, I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of. I was 11 years old on probation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done a lot of dumb stuff, done a lot of bad things. I've drank a lot. I've took some stuff, whatever stuff that I wouldn't, if I had to go back and do over again, I wouldn't do it. But it's over. It's gone. There's grace for that. So, I mean, if I could just give you one or two things, that's it. It's the best decision you'll ever make. You'll never be alone. And, recently lost mom and grandpa on the same day, and then like a week before that, I lost a grandma, and about 2 weeks before that, lost another woman and another man that was like a mom and a grandfather to me. Worst time of my life. It was horrible. It sucked. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
can see that.
10 out of 10. Don't recommend, like, at all. And there was a point in time in my life, or in that time, um, I felt alone. You know, I was a little mad for a second, like, you know, trying to figure out and wrap my mind around things. But after, you know, I had a day or two, I realized I was never alone. You know what I mean? I was never, you know, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of people are like, well, you were mad at God.
Yeah.
What? Let me tell you something. Yes, it's not what it used to be, but I have a temper. I'm not a small person. I'm not a weak person. Used to, when I would get mad, it wouldn't be good. He can handle that. God can handle me on my worst days, and He can anybody watching. He can handle you on your worst days, with your worst temper tantrum, with your worst blackout, raging, just throwing stuff, breaking stuff, whatever. He can handle that. So people are like, I can't believe you were mad at God. Well, I can't believe you haven't been mad at God.
Never.
You know what I mean? Like, you sit here and tell me you've never been mad at God.
No, not me.
Like, it just blows my mind.
I'm always angry.
I'm gonna Hulk out.
Yeah.
Like, it blows my mind, because, like, if you've not been mad at God, how deep is your relationship with God? I love my wife dearly, and I would do anything in the world for my wife. You know, it says in the Word to lay down your life, to love Christ, love your wife as Christ loves the church. He laid down His life for the church. I firmly believe that if it comes down to it, I would lay my life down for my wife. But there's times I just cannot stand to be around her for a minute, because we're mad at each other, we're arguing, we're fussing, we're bickering.
I hit mine.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't hit my wife.
I don't hit
mine. She would beat me up.
She's too little. She'd leave me. She's prettier than me.
My wife would probably beat me up a little bit.
And leave you.
Yeah, she would leave me. Of course, you know, she would deserve that. She would deserve better than that. I wouldn't do that.
Mine too.
But it's just one of those things, like, I don't know, you know, all that. There's times we get mad at each other, but I still love her. She still loves me. You know what I mean? He can handle you on your worst days. So there's nothing you can't bring to Him, for what I'm getting at, I guess you could say.
And that's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff.
Because we all messing up every day.
Every day, man. I fall short of the glory every day.
Every day. Where you at in 5 years, man? What are you doing 5 years from now? And we're going to have to get you on again.
Yeah.
We're going to need some more talk again. If you've got people that want to talk about the Bible and educate, I'd love to listen and talk. Because I have questions. I have good questions.
Yeah.
And I want to be educated on them. Where you at in 5 years, man? What are you doing?
Oh, man. It's tough. Like, because I'm at a point in time in my life, I'm 25 years old. I'm an electrician by trade.
I thought you was 40.
See, that's the thing. People think I'm in my 30s and 40s all the time.
It's the beard.
Bro, I don't even look that old, I don't think.
He really doesn't, yeah? Who looks older, me or him?
You're half bald, bro.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
On the podcast, look, I'm coming over different now.
No, and you don't look old.
No, I'm handsome as shit. You ain't got to tell me. But I am.
Hell yeah.
How old do I look?
I don't know how old you are.
I'm
How
25.
old do I look?
27.
I'll take it. I'm not shot out yet.
5
years.
5 years from now, man. Right now, I'm an electrician by trade. I'm an apprentice, actually, technically speaking. I'm almost done with the apprenticeship program. I top out being a journeyman wireman. But two is something else that I'm looking into, and actually in the process of going into becoming a credentialed minister in our denomination.
Very cool, man.
Becoming licensed and stuff like that. So I don't. 5 years from now, I don't know if I'll still be doing electrical work, if I'll be doing ministry full time. I really don't know. I kind of know what I would like to do.
What's that?
I mean, I would like to be doing ministry full time. I enjoy it, man. I do. I enjoy preaching. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy playing, praise and worship music. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love doing electrical work. I enjoy it. It's a good job. It's a good living. All that. I enjoy what I do. I don't know. I think I might like to be doing ministry full time.
Pretty wild, ain't it, man?
It's crazy stuff. Man.
Yeah. I've really appreciated the time, man. I really did. We got an hour and 10 minutes. Wasn't even hard.
No, there wasn't even that 15-minute awkward period.
No,
you was
we
talking
got
about.
going, man. We
Yeah,
got
bro.
going. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please share it around.
Yeah.
We're not trying to bash any religion. We're trying to get educated. Austin's my friend. Austin knows I believe in Jesus. I want to
Yeah.
talk to people. Everyone's got different opinions. If you have a different religion than Austin, I'd love to talk to you about it. Austin, I really, really appreciate the time, man. It's always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, buddy. It's
Thank
always
you.
a good time. Thank you, man.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
See you guys. Y'all have a good day.
And even if I'm not handsome, I talk good. God, I talk good.